Hey, good evening, fragrance community. This is J-Bit Fragrance Reviews coming back at you with another review. Now, tonight I'm going to talk about a fragrance that everybody has heard of. It's been known as the king of all fragrances, and as many of you probably already guessed or read in the description, I'll be talking about Creed Aventus tonight. Creed Aventus has a special place in my heart, to where as of now I only own 2 bottles of it. There's been a couple years difference in these 2 bottles. The one that I have from, I believe, around 2012 is a little more smoky, and the one from, I believe it's 2013 or 14, has a little bit more of the pineapple, but it still contains a smokiness. I can't speak for what the new batches smell like now that are being released, because I haven't gotten my nose on it. But first off, before I do anything else, I just want to read the notes that this fragrance contains. So in the top notes, we have black currant, bergamot, apple, and pineapple. In the middle notes, we have rose, dry birch, Moroccan jasmine, and patchouli. In the base, we have oak moss, musk, ambergris, and vanilla. So what do I get out of this fragrance? I guess the simple answer is I don't get too much of those notes. I put this fragrance on before I went to school this morning around 7 o'clock this morning. I am in college, just a side note. It's taken me about 10 years. I'm finally getting close to finishing my degree. But I just decided to wear this today. And, it's still coming off my skin. But with this fragrance, what I get mostly out of this is, it's all about the birch as it dries down. And some of the vanilla, maybe a little bit of patchouli and the ambergris. But the opening, though, is what really draws me to this fragrance. When I originally spray this on my skin, it's all about the black currant, the birch, and the pineapple. And the pineapple isn't an overly sweet, and I wouldn't say a realistic pineapple. It's more like, if it was realistic, I would say it's more on the fresher side, not like a canned, overly sweet pineapple, but it's in there where you can pick it up a little bit, and that pineapple note only lasts for about an hour on my skin before it dissipates. And this fragrance is a little weird for me sometimes. Today, I've had this on for over 9 hours right now, and I feel like it's still projecting somewhat off my skin, where there's other times when I've put this fragrance on and about half hour into it, I can no longer smell it on my skin. But the crazy thing about that is, as a lot of you probably have experienced it, even though that you can't smell it, people around you can still smell it. Creed Aventus to me is like a Swiss Army knife in the fragrance community. What I mean by that is I can wear this during any season, no matter how hot or how cold it is. I can wear it for any occasion, whether I'm dressed up, dressed down, and whether I'm going to school, to a wedding, unfortunately to a funeral. I can wear this in any setting. And the other thing about this fragrance is, it used to be accessible. I feel like over the last couple of years, it's been harder to find, good deals on a bottle, especially a 4-ounce bottle of Creed Aventus. I feel like whenever Creed switched everything over, when they jacked the prices up by, I don't know, some outrageous amount, around $100 or something, and then lowered the amount of juice that you got, I felt like that was unfair for Creed to do. But I guess I can understand, they want to make money, but I'm not sure if they're trying to make themselves more exclusive. And that just brings up the next question that I have, and that I've heard asked time after time, is owning the original Creed Aventus worth it in today's world? Now, maybe that's not a simple answer, and it's not one that I can answer for everybody. You know, there are so many clones out there of this fragrance, and there's a lot of debate about which one smells better than the others, or, you know, which one comes the closest to Creed Aventus. So I try to factor that in with trying to give this an answer. I would say that buying a brand new bottle of Creed Aventus from a retail store, I would say is not worth it at all. I don't believe it's worth the amount that you are paying now for, you know, the amount of juice that you got. You know, I also don't think it's, you know, worth the hype that it has gotten now in 2018. Like, don't get me wrong, but this was amazing when it was first released. I don't believe there was too many fragrances out there that, you know, came anywhere close to what Creed Aventus did by bringing a smoky pineapple or a fruity fragrance. I don't believe that, you know, there were too many fragrances like that, and I believe that the hype was justified back then. But as time goes on, you know, there's so many other fragrances that I feel, you know, do what Creed Aventus tried to do, but does it better now. I'm not talking about, you know, the clone houses. I don't really feel like it's fair to compare a clone to the original, other than, well, how close does it smell? I don't believe a clone can ever be better than the original fragrance, just due to the originality of the original and the creativeness that went in there and the time that was spent to come out with that scent. You know, I'm not going to say that clones are bad. You know, that's a discussion and a debate that we can have for another day. But as of 2018, you know, I believe what Creed Aventus did was groundbreaking at the time, but it's not anymore. So if you're a fan of Creed Aventus and, you know, either you don't want to spend the money, or, you know, you went through a full bottle of Creed Aventus already and you're looking for something different that maybe sort of mimics Aventus in a way, or, you know, you want something similar in nature, I want to talk real quick about a couple other options that I have in my personal collection I think maybe you would like if you tried out. You know, the first one is from the House of Atelier Cologne, and this is Musk Imperial. You know, there's no denying at the first blast that this does smell like Creed Aventus. But imagine Aventus without the pineapple note and the smokiness toned down, and there's fig in the fragrance instead of that pineapple. You know, that's what I get with Musk Imperial. You know, it's definitely not a clone of Aventus, because this is all about the fig, and within the first couple minutes the similarities between Aventus start to dissipate very slowly. So you could definitely tell which one is Musk Imperial and which one is Aventus. But if you're a fan of fig and also a fan of Aventus, I would definitely check out Musk Imperial from Atelier Cologne. You know, another fragrance that I want to talk about a little bit has gotten a lot of the hype over the last year or so. Well, ever since it was released, I'm not sure the exact date. And that is Roja Parfums Elysium. You know, this isn't a clone of Creed Aventus. This is more about the opening with the black currant and a citrus combination that is just beautiful. I've heard this being compared to, you know, the initial opening as compared to Creed Aventus quite often over the last couple months. And this is definitely a fragrance to check out. It's such a beautiful, natural smelling fragrance that is perfect for the very hot weathers. Where I believe this is mainly a spring and summer fragrance, where with Creed Aventus, like I said, you could wear that all year round. Now, for those who love pineapple notes and fragrances, my next option and my last option is one that I would definitely recommend to check out if you love pineapple. And that fragrance is from the house of Frederick Mall. It's Music for a While. You know, this is a different pineapple note than Aventus. I feel like, if anything, Aventus would be like a very fresh pineapple, you know, without too much juice on it, if that makes sense. Where Music for a While comes off as like a literal pineapple juice, you know, whether it's in the can, you know, that type of juice. You just open up a can of canned pineapples, and that whiff that you get is what's in Music for a While. You know, this is a beautiful pineapple based fragrance, and it does have some patchouli that comes in and out of the fragrance. And those are the two main notes that I get, and the pineapple lasts for a long time on my skin. So that's, you know, all I want to talk about with Creed Aventus today. You know, going back, does it deserve, you know, the hype? I think it did at the time, but maybe not so much now. You know, it is a nice fragrance, and it's one that I will always have in my collection, but it's not always one that I'm going to reach for. That's everything I have to talk about today. I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in and watching this review on Creed Aventus. I hope everybody enjoys their evenings or their days, wherever they're from, and thank you so much.